Hey guys, welcome back to the Home Turf. Hopefully you are doing good and having a great day. I love you all, and I'm so glad you could join me. I actually wanted to take today off. I know I said I was going to do a Ultra Crimson Carry cleaning today, but that will be tomorrow. Today, I just had to come on and say something about the Sidearm controversy. Now, we didn't just lose an airman, guys. We lost a defender. We lost a security forces member. And as someone who's prior security forces myself, it hits especially hard when I see security forces members lose their lives for dumb fucking situations like this. Faulty fucking equipment. Because the military wants to save a goddamn buck. That shit pisses me off, man. That shit really pisses me off. So, I want you to understand how much this is going to impact the Air Force, guys. The career field overall is very versatile. It's a very massive career field. There are essentially three main jobs that we do, right, as security forces members, and that is ground combat if need be. That is law enforcement, and that is security. But there are also shred outs, okay? You have K9, you've got Raven, and then you also have Dagger. And Raven and Dagger, those are more spec ops type deal. Raven is not exactly considered spec ops, but Dagger is actually considered a special operations shred out. But your main career fields essentially is going to be Raven, K9, and then the main security forces, shebang. So I've seen a lot in my time, a lot of accidents happen. But they've always been because of user error, not because of faulty equipment. When I got in, like many others, the sidearms that we were using was the M9, the Beretta. And as heavy and clunky and difficult it was to take apart, to clean and reassemble, it was a reliable firearm. It was. Now you had to really know how to use it to be very accurate with it. But it never went off uncommanded. It never did any of that stuff. So you didn't really have to worry about it. I was really excited about the switch because I wanted something different from the M9. But I was really hoping for the Glock. You see, because my last year in, there was a contest for the contract with the military for a new sidearm, and that was between Glock and Sidearm. Unfortunately, SIG won because they underbid Glock. But now we're actually seeing what really happens when the military wants to cheap out at the expense of their troops. And so if Afghanistan, the way we pulled out of that bullshit, wasn't enough for you to be pissed off about what the military actually thinks of their troops, then this should absolutely piss you off, because it does me. And here, I want to show you this. This is my Glock 43X. Very same gun, or the very same brand that we're talking about here that we cleaned yesterday. As you can see, it is safe and clear. So I'm going to go ahead and send the slide forward. The main thing with the M18s is that the slide was absolutely loose.
We were able to get this to go off repeatedly by just manipulating the slide with the tiniest bit of input on the trigger. That's 3 in a row.
The engineering was god-awful, and it presented such a safety hazard that there shouldn't have been any kind of contract with the United States military. And so here's what a firearm should actually feel like, right? With the slide and the frame. There should be no play at all. None. So that's not anywhere near how the M18 is. And unfortunately, when the Airmen had put their firearm and set it on, I believe. So when you go to turn in, that's what we call when it's the end of the day and you're getting off work, right? You go, you de-arm, and then you turn in your gun, right? What's supposed to happen is you go, you safe, clear, okay. Boom, you come back, you go to the window, and you lay down your firearm at the window. Now, I don't know anything more than that. As far as I do know, the Airman had laid it somewhere, dropped it or kind of slammed it down, something like that. And the gun went off. No one pulled the trigger. It just went off uncommanded, right? It's a complete accident. No fault to the Airman, no fault to anyone else around, but the engineering that SIG thought was okay to go ahead and mass produce. So this isn't it's not just a Sig Sauer problem. This is a military problem. Because there was a massive controversy about the P320s well before SIG even won the contest and got the contract. So you really question, why is it that the military thought it was a great idea to go ahead and go through with the P320s? And well, that's because the military is cheap. That's exactly why. The military does not like to pay anything more than what it absolutely has to. It's very unfortunate.
Hey guys, as I was editing and doing a little bit of fact checking with some research, I found this article and it's incredibly interesting that this kind of stuff would happen, but I'm not exactly surprised. So you guys can read through, I'll leave it up for a while, but yeah, I think it's absolutely interesting and disgusting. So you guys go ahead and let me know what you think in the comment section.
But it is what it is. And unfortunately, a lot of the times it comes at the expense of the troops. And this is what the military actually thinks of their troops. This is what they actually think. And I do not believe that commander who wrote that PR response. I don't believe that motherfucker at all. I don't. Because that is the average response that leadership really gives. And so I don't believe that for a minute. Not to say the commander's a bad guy. But as far as leadership goes, I really don't think they give a fuck. The military doesn't give a fuck about their troops. That's very true. Now, the people within leadership do care. Maybe their immediate leadership, maybe their supervisors or flight sergeants, flight chiefs, whatever. But the military as a whole, no, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. You're seen as property. And less expensive property as well. So, go on. She'll be back in here in the next 2 minutes. This is what really aggravates me about the United States military. They will absolutely cheap out on the gear, even if that means at the expense of the troops. You coming? What are you doing? You coming in here? What are you looking at me for? I told you to be here. I told you she would be in here the next couple of minutes. It's not just the M18s. I also think about the chemical equipment that they had us wear. Absolutely useless. We knew without a shadow of a doubt that if there actually was chemical weaponry was dropped on us, we wouldn't have stood a chance. And that's just because the equipment that we had was terrible. I mean, it had holes in it and all rips and all kinds of shit. Now, of course, a lot of this was training equipment, right? And a lot of the actual stuff to be used was sealed in bags. But the equipment itself was absolutely useless. It wouldn't have protected us from anything. So, you could probably argue and say, oh, well, that's chemical warfare. You can't really do a whole lot about that. Well, you can, because people have. It's just the military doesn't want to pay millions and millions of dollars to get every single troop the equipment that's actually needed to defend themselves against chemical warfare. So, I think about stuff like that, and then it really black pills me quite a bit with the military. And of course, I was kicked out because I refused the vaccination. But I had lost my faith in the military long before that. Because I was seeing, and I was keeping an open mind, and I was keeping my eyes open to what the military was actually doing. And they did not care. They didn't. They had no care in the world for you. None. Not for the troops, not for the citizens, none. They don't care. Again, it's based on individual, unfortunately. But the military as a whole, they don't care. And this right here proves it. This right here actively proves it. And it's not just the Air Force that's using these M8s, these P320s. The Army's also used them with the M17s. And I believe the Marines as well. You guys might want to fact check me on that one. But I do know for sure that the Army is using the M17s. The Air Force is using the M18s. And so a lot of these are going to keep happening. We should have went with Glock. The military should have sucked it the fuck up. Decided to not spending so much goddamn money on fucking stools and pencils, and actually put some fucking money into equipment that's actually going to protect airmen's lives, instead of cheaping out like a fucking cheapskate. And now a fucking airman is dead. Congratulations. I hope whoever was in charge of that fucking decision gets investigated as well. And you go to fucking prison, because that blood is on your fucking hands. You made the decision. You've actively looked into the controversy with the P320s, and you chose to go through with it. And whoever is responsible for engineering the P320 should be investigated and sent to prison too. Fuck all of you. We lost a fucking phenomenal member of society, as far as I see it, and as far as I know. Someone who wanted to serve their fucking country. And now they're dead because of this dumbass shit. This isn't how a fucking airman should go out, man. This isn't how a defender should go out. And now what are they going to do to honor this defender? Another fucking morale run? What the fuck? Another fucking PR stunt. And go fuck yourself. Something needs to change. The military as a whole needs to fucking change. I understand it's been this way for a long time. It has been. It absolutely has been. Because troops like this has been having a lot of problems with leadership in the military for decades. Incompetent people making the fucking decision that's going to determine life and death for the people that are under them. Whatever happened to generals leading the way? Because I don't see a single goddamn general arming up with a fucking M18. Don't see a single one. You know what I do see? I do see A1Cs. I do see senior airmen, staff sergeants. And of course airmen as well, but that's who I actually see arming up with M18s and actively putting their lives in fucking jeopardy. I was actually a little intimidated to arm up with the M18 every single day. And I kept that motherfucker on safe at all times. I mean, you have to, obviously, because it's protocol, but I didn't even want to touch the fucking thing because I knew what was going on with it. And every single day, I myself was wondering if it was going to be my leg that was going to take the fucking hit. And unfortunately, it was an airman who lost their life because of this. The military as a whole needs to change. So, I'm calling for investigations. I'm calling for charges. These motherfuckers need to be investigated and charged for actively making the decision to put troops' lives and limbs in jeopardy just to save a fucking buck. And so SIG also needs to be sued to fucking high hell for this shit. I hope they go out of business. I really hope they do. So, it's an absolute travesty. And it's pathetic. It is pathetic. It is. This is why I tell people who want to serve, don't. Because even if you do serve honorably, you get out and the VA is a fucking joke. But that's a whole nother fucking rabbit hole. But even while you're in, the military is even more of a joke. Even more of a joke. It's nothing but fucking politics. It's nothing but fucking golden children running around getting chosen to be promoted and progress in the fucking career field, while the people who actually want to do a good fucking job don't care for the fucking politics, isn't a fucking ass kisser. Those are the ones who get fucking shoved down in the fucking dirt and unseen, unheard. So, fuck that shit. I absolutely understand the guy that burned his fucking uniform. I absolutely understand it. And if I didn't have the pride in myself the way that I do, I'd probably be burning my uniform too. So, came a point in time where I was absolutely embarrassed to put my fucking uniform on every single day. That's how much I hated it. I was beyond burned out because I didn't want to serve a fucking military that didn't care a fuck about me. Cared more about politics, identity politics. Cared more about appeasing people. No. Don't care. Don't care. So, I'm glad to be out. I'm glad to have the benefits that I do. But the VA needs to change. The military needs to change. And this isn't just a Sig Sauer situation. This is a military situation. And so I would ask that or not fellow security forces, I would ask my security forces members to please voice your concerns. You can do that. You have a First Amendment right. You can absolutely do that. You can. And if they want to tell you you don't, they can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck themselves. And fuck your leadership. Fuck all of them. I don't give a fuck. This is about you and you taking care of you at the end of the day. Because guess what? You're the one that wakes up, put on that fucking uniform. You're the one that goes and arms up. You're the one who stands at fucking guard mount and listens to the brief of the day, right? And then you're the one who posts out. You're the one who sits at the fucking gate shack for 12, 14 hours a day. You're the one who sits on the fucking flight line with those fucking weapons. Another thing too, the fucking equipment, vehicles that we were using on the flight line would overheat quite a bit, actually. Did they ever get fixed? No, of course not. Because they didn't fucking care to have actual running fucking equipment. They didn't care for that shit. So, anyways, I could talk about this for hours, guys, and I don't want to keep you here all day. But I just wanted to tell you guys that, again, it's not a 6 hour, not just a 6 hour situation. It's a military situation. And it's the military as a whole that needs to fucking change. Right? I doubt it is going to, but it absolutely has to. And we can definitely make a change. That's for sure. Because if people stop joining, maybe they'll start to sing a different fucking tune. Hopefully. I doubt that'll happen though. There's a lot of good people out there that want to serve. And that's noble, and I respect the fuck out of that. I really do. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Not at all. Not at all. But I will say this, again, I respect heavily the people that are in service right now, whether they be Air Force or not, security forces or not. I respect you guys completely. And thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that. I really do. So that's pretty much all I got today, guys. We really got to make a change. I need you to help me make a change. All right. So I'm just one guy that's talking on the internet, and unfortunately, that's all I can do right now. You know, of course, I can go out, I can, buy a poster and protest and everything like that on the streets, and that is something that I'm actually looking at doing. But that's pretty much all I can do. It takes a lot of us coming together and making sure that these people at the top hear our fucking voices for us to make a change. So please help me, guys. Please, please, please help me. Please help me. I appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed to me and have joined this lovely family here. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm so hopeful that these videos help you in any way that they can. And so, if they do, that's great. If you need me for anything, please, please, please reach out, okay? Because whether you're a security forces member or not, Air Force member or not, military or not, we all need someone that we have to talk to at a point in time. And so I'm always here. So just reach out. All right? I'm here for you guys. Any way I can help you. That being said, guys, I wish you all a very lovely day. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys soon.